Hi everybody and welcome to Wednesday's English lesson, and today we are going to be using figurative language to describe a setting. And let's just remind ourselves about what figurative language is. It's basically flowery language, isn't it? So things such as alliteration, which is the repetition of similar sounds. You have similes, which is a descriptive way of using one thing to another, using the word like or as. Then you've got things such as personification, which makes an object seem human by giving it human actions or describing it as if it looks human. And a metaphor is a little bit like a simile, but you actually say that it is one thing rather than another. So today we are going to be using figurative language to describe what Danny will see on the mountain. Let's read through this short poem and let's see if we can find any figurative language. The calm water surrounding me echoes the peaceful scene ahead, rippling gently beneath the bow. Overhead, wispy clouds lie silently watching, neatly groomed like the breeze has pulled a fine comb through them, spying on me and documenting my journey from afar. The peaked towers above the jagged mountains entice me and make my heart beat. Adrenaline, adventure, action, a scene to behold. Ascending will be the most difficult of challenges. Descending will bring the happiest of joy. But the peak on the ridge, that secluded spot, is where the magic lies. So just have a little read through that poem again and see if you can find any figurative language. Pause the video and write down the figurative language. So I found these examples. Overhead, the wispy clouds lie silently watching. Now that's an example of personification because it's making object, or in this case, the clouds, appear as if they are human. So lie silently watching. Clouds don't really watch, do they? So that is an example of personification. Alliteration, we've got some here: adrenaline, adventure, and action. That is repetition of similar sounds. The similar sound is the a sound, isn't it? We've also seen an example of a simile. Neatly groomed, like the breeze has pulled a fine comb through them. So like there shows that it is a simile. We're going to have a go at creating our own similes about this picture here. So first of all, I'm going to think about describing the water. And when you create a simile, remember you're describing the water in comparison to something else. So it could be something like the water. I'm going to up level that actually and describe it as the tranquil. The tranquil water was as smooth as glass, was as smooth as glass. Good, so I've used as. You remember you can use like or as to describe how smooth it is. And then here I can say something like the reflections in the water showed the clouds like a mirror. The reflections in the water showed the clouds like a mirror. What else could we do? Another simile. Perhaps you could then describe the boat in the middle of the water. So what could a boat be compared to? It's a little bit like a leaf, isn't it? Floating in the water all on its own there. So I'm going to do this simile. The lonely boat floated in the, I'm going to say vast to describe the water there, in the vast water, vast open water, like a leaf. So don't forget, you can use as or like when you are creating your similes. So your turn now. See if you can create your own simile about the boat. So you could start off with the lonely boat floated in the vast open water like a. See if you can come up with your own simile for that picture. Do that now on your piece of paper. Lovely. And can you write another simile about this picture? Do that now. Okay, now we're going to have a go at writing our own piece of personification. So don't forget, personification makes an object seem human, as if it looks human or its actions are human. So I'm going to describe the mountain. How could the mountain be behaving in a human-like way? Well, perhaps it's watching Danny. So that's what I'm going to use. The what could we say? The Herculean mountains lay waiting and watching for Danny's every move. Herculean mountains lay waiting and watching for Danny's every move. And what else could they be doing? They could be sleeping, couldn't they? The mountain seemed to be sleeping and was rudely awoken by Danny's tricks. Have a go at writing your own piece of personification using the mountain. What could the mountain be doing? Perhaps it's laying, waiting, and watching. Perhaps it's sleeping. Perhaps it's worried for Danny as he does his tricks on the rocks. So write your own piece of personification about this picture. And the next one we're going to do is we're going to use a metaphor. So remember, a metaphor is similar to a simile, but instead of saying like or as, we actually say it is something. So here I could talk about Danny's joy of when he's doing his trick. So I can say here, the backflip was pure joy. Okay, so doing his backflip was pure joy. It was joy. What else could we say? His somersault, or his somersault. Oops, and I've done isn't that wrong? His somersault was what would it be? His was pure joy. Was pure excitement. The bike was his ticket to another world. So those are examples of metaphors. You are saying that they are something as opposed to saying it is like or similar to. So your task today, Year 5s, will be to write your own poem using the example which is going to be attached to this assignment. So can you answer the following questions? What can Danny touch or see? What are his thoughts and feelings as he's riding through the mountain? What nature surrounds him? So we've got the lake and the ridge of the mountain. And what does he want to reach? He wants to reach the pinnacle, doesn't he? So you are going to use this example here to come up with your own short poem about Danny's adventures in the mountain. And I look forward to seeing your work.